Okay.
Are we ready? Yes. All right, so I'm Sam, and I'm representing the Firebolt Squadron along with Rosario and Brandon. And our design was a real-world applications kind of glove that would be useful in any number of scenarios. What we have now is a very, very, very basic, crude, and rudimentary prototype for what we would actually want a project like this to look like. So it's really simple. Ours has our thumb acts as the ground or any other finger, and you have embedded contact points on any of your fingers. So you can use any number of combinations to be programmed to do anything you want. So later we have an example for a slideshow. You can have it so if your index finger contact point is change slide forward, and your middle finger we change slide backwards, or you can have it so both is play music or something of the sorts. There's any number of things you can do with a system like this. I'll talk about what we would want the future project to look like in a little bit, but this is kind of what we based the project off of. This uses different technology. This uses muscle sensors to program certain things. Obviously using the Makey Makey, it likes taking electricity and contact points, using electricity to close circuits, resulting in a button or a switch of sorts, which you can program what it does. So if you look over here, so this is a more advanced version of kind of what we're doing. This one uses muscle sensors on the wrist instead of contact points. We're going to talk in a little bit how the contact points could be used more advanced so it can be competitive with technology like this. But this right here probably gives you the best. So each muscle combination can result in a different thing to program. So you can pause it if you want. And it has gyro, which is where it beats our design a little bit. So we're gonna, what worked and what didn't work. So everything we tested out worked. It went fine because we were just doing something basic. But in the future, what we want to do, what we want to change is we want embedded contact points in something more of a smaller cloth glove that's easy to get on and off, that's flexible. That rubber glove is kind of a pain to get on and off. A easier way to ground yourself that's also, again, embedded into the glove. So in the future, you wear a glove. It's a small cloth glove. Each finger is a contact point. You can program each contact point to do something else, and you can have a microcontroller or something like the Makey Makey connected on the back of your wrist, the back of your hand, or the small of your wrist, front of your wrist. There, and that can connect through Bluetooth to a device, whatever device you're controlling, whether that be your phone for music or a computer for a presentation. This is a presentation we grabbed from Mr. Dialbus, but
So
this is an example of it.
yeah, so every time I hit my index finger, it goes to the next slide, and every time I hit my middle finger, it goes to the previous slide. It's really, it's something that so you don't have to hold a clicker and do it. Like if I could go like that and point at the same time, it makes it really useful, very practical. As it looks right now, like going into the reflection part of things, as it looks right now, it's not a very pretty sight, perhaps, but if we had more time or more materials, we could make it a lot more pleasing to look at, a lot more comfortable to wear. But
All the wires hanging.
yeah, that, and then and what's great is like I can move around to an extent, but because of the wires, I am sort of limited to standing here as I go, and no one wants to read your manual. Audience, user, active voice, right? So another big thing that we considered when we were making this project is it has a huge audience, right? So like everyone uses presentations at this point, everyone from higher ups in a company or staff members in a school or teachers even, meetings are basically led by presentations. So if someone had some sort of wireless glove that they can put on and control a presentation and walk around the room and use hand movements to control the presentation, that would be pretty awesome. Especially if you don't have any wires holding you back. We just figured it was a really good innovation, but hey, it doesn't break, it's practical, and so I think we're really proud of what we made. Yeah.
That's it.
Any questions? Any questions? Yeah.
How do you think that how do you think you're gonna like condense it so it's not as like big and bulky?
All right,
as it
so a lot of the Makey Makey has a lot of useless stuff that doesn't really need to be there, right? So it's really big, it's really user-friendly. These contact points are obviously not the most efficient contact points available. So in the future, if you wanted to condense it down, make a smaller circuit board that only has 4 or 5 contact points and a ground point on the base so it directly touches your skin, that would be a lot easier, a lot more efficient. And it would be a lot smaller. Bluetooth adapters are also really small, so it's really easy to make it smaller. The only problem is you would have to either order a custom circuit or program it using an Arduino, but that's also very easy because this is just a pre-programmed Arduino if you really think about it, with contact points already there.
Cool.
Anything else?
Any other questions? All right.